There is nothing quite devastating like a high school love triangle. It is the synopsis of many a book talk books. Two people fighting over one love interest. It's probably what the quote, "all's fair in love and war," is inspired by, especially when two people are fighting over the popular quarterback to the high school football team. There are trilogy-long sagas of real-life instances where people have confessed to the craziest high school love triangles years down the line. One netizen, OP, the original poster, she gets a call from her old high school crush. They're so much older now. In fact, this old high school crush is about to get married to his high school girlfriend, but he's calling her. And he's drunk. He's confessing his love to her instead. And he's saying things like, "I know you never want me because back in high school you rejected me." And this is all right before his wedding. But what's crazier is the original poster, OP, is like, "What are you talking about? I never rejected you in high school." Back in high school, when they were all friends, this guy had asked his now soon-to-be wife to tell the original poster, "Hey, I have a crush on her. Can you tell her and let her know?" And this girl, the soon-to-be wife, decides, "I'm actually not going to tell her that. And I'm just going to tell you that she rejected you, and I'm going to swoop in and start dating you instead." And now she is going to be the one walking down the aisle with him. Which, I mean, I don't know how someone would even feel if they find out the truth years down the line. I don't know if that changes him wanting to get married or not. Do you still get married all over this like high school love triangle? People do crazy stuff when their frontal lobe is not fully developed. And in high school, everything means something. Like who you sit next to in the cafeteria, whose hoodie you're wearing, whose locker you're standing by between class. I hate high school. Dating becomes very territorial in high school. People will decorate their crush's lockers. They'll wear the jersey numbers to the high school football games. They'll get the little candy canes delivered to them during Christmas. But even if a high school relationship withstands all of this drama, it almost always ends up with everyone separating because of college. Which is why letters like these are written to the quarterback of the high school football team. I'm glad to have you as someone who I think will be in my life for a while. And this is a real note. This is very pertinent. Even if we don't talk all the time or even at all when you're in college, I feel like our little bond will always be there. So just hit me when you want to go get wasted at a bar together and I'll send you my wedding invite one day. I know you're nostalgic AF, so I hope you look back at our time as a good one. And no, this isn't like me saying goodbye, but like I know things are gonna be different. Like, bro, you were the first person who got me to smoke weed. You're always gonna have that title, so we're locked in for real. And maybe one day we'll be able to go to the aquarium. I'm here whenever, even though you never say it back. I love you, and I wish you all the best. Always love, HB. This letter never gets delivered to the high school crush. Instead, it's found crumpled up in a kitchen trash can during a search warrant for Haley Beck's apartment. Because this letter is not between two high school lovebirds who are in love and their students that are separating for college. This letter is written by a 27-year-old teacher at Centennial High School who is caught grooming her student. We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the Joyful Heart Foundation, who are working to transform society's response to SADVCA and support survivors' healing with resources like education, advocacy, and policy change. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we'd also like to thank you guys for your continued support. As always, full show notes are available at RottenMangoPodcast.com. Today's case involves mentions of grooming, predators in particular positions of power, harassment, CSA. Please take care while watching today's episode. Take a break. Put this on pause if you need to. We will see you back in the next episode. This episode is also currently ongoing, and so any information will be up to the date of publishing. And because there's no verdicts as of now and not even charges, all allegations are speculative, currently being investigated, and or only consist of publicly available information online. We did FOIA request this case, so we did receive like a 200-page police document. I will say, because there are no charges, there will be times where I'm quoting things from this police document or I'm quoting other people talking about and referencing this police document. There's lots of labels of what this crime was. Some people are using the words like relationship and sex, but I just want to make it abundantly clear, this is none of those things. In my opinion, I think this is just a sex crime. I don't think that this is sex or a relationship. I think this is grooming. I think this is predatory behavior. And I think it's a crime. I think it's sexual assault. But because there are lots of people who reference it like that, likely because the victim is a male student, it's not me advocating for that. I'm just saying. So with that being said, let's get into it. Every high school has some sort of open secret. Married teachers are having affairs with each other. One netizen writes, quote, 2 PE teachers, one male and one female, they would vanish at the same time every day. She got pregnant. Her husband was also a teacher at our school, and like the whole building pretended we didn't know that that's not his baby.
Dang.
Which is a pretty common theme. Another netizen writes, 2 teachers had an affair and the woman's husband came to the school during lunch and beat the shit out of the other teacher in the hallway. The kids were filming it, but both teachers kept their jobs. And then it becomes one of those things that nobody really talks about openly anymore. Married parents of students are having affairs with other married parents, perhaps with a married teacher. One person stated that their high school had this weird open secret. The football coach was having a very public affair with one of the players' moms. She was at every practice, every game, always in his office. His wife was also a teacher at the school, and like the whole town knew. Another student says, our principal was sleeping with at least 2 different students' moms. He would schedule parent conferences during school hours. Like his secretary knew, his whole office staff knew, everyone knew. He eventually got promoted to district administrator. Yeah. Open secrets about how seriously everyone seems to take high school sports is a huge thing. Like one principal who would change her own son's grades so that he could play football. This is a common thing. One faculty member writes, the star quarterback had a GPA of 0.8. 0.8. Literally failing every class. But every quarter, his grades would magically adjust just enough so that he could play football. Every teacher knew it. Nobody was allowed to talk about it. Or another. Best player in our school basketball team got caught breaking into cars and robbing them, was kicked off the basketball team after they found his car full of all the valuables that were stolen. Half into the season, we're at the bottom. So the coach and the principal work out a deal and they get him back in. He ends up playing. We still lost though. But Centennial High School in Arizona, their open secret would start making national news.
Centennial High School, Centennial High School, Centennial High School, Centennial High School in Peoria.
Centennial High School is one of the entire state's premier athletic schools, particularly in football. So their team has won at least 8 state championships.
The Centennial Coyotes are the 5A state champions!
It's a heavy football school, meaning Friday nights, you drive by Centennial High School, it's going to be packed. Everybody's talking about what they're wearing to the game, who's playing, who's that. Everyone knows all the players, their numbers, all the players and their parents. Then the rest of the weekend, if you go to the best spots in town, like if you go Saturday brunch, you're going to run into people rehashing Friday night's game while eating brunch. And it's just high school football. Like it's that serious. And I grew up in the South, so like I get high school football. And there is something much darker going on in Centennial High School than just football. It starts off more like an open secret. It's like a rumor. Nobody has proof, but it just feels weird. One student says, there were just things about the school that just kept getting swept under the rug. Look, I don't know the specifics, but everyone's heard the rumors. Like there was this male Spanish teacher that was very friendly and flirty with the girl students last year. I don't know if anything happened, but he was fired before anything came up. And this is a real witness, a real student saying this to the police. Then there's the girls' soccer coach and psychology teacher. She's just kind of weird with her students, specifically her male students. She seems like one of those teachers that hates her female students but loves her male students, which is concerning, right? But she would just do this thing where she would constantly call out members of the football team, kids, students, out of their classes and then bring them to her classroom and like just hang out with them. I don't know, it was weird. Or she's constantly doing favors for them. She would let them leave the school campus to get food, which is generally not allowed. At some point, the other students and even some of their older, already graduated siblings are confused. Their parents are getting word of this. After hearing all of these rumors, one of the students decides to just ask one of the football players. Like, you're always around the psychology teacher. Like, is that teacher being weird with you? Is something weird? Because I heard something weird's going on. He responds really cryptically. You'd have to ask the teacher that. Like, I'm not saying anything. What does that mean? Like, as in there's something to say, but you don't want to say it? But there is one student whose name keeps getting brought up in all of this with rumors about the psychology teacher. He's a football player, and we're going to be referring to him as Alex for the rest of the episode. That is not his real name. Anyone who is under 18 or even 18 but is a student, I'm not using any of their real names. Alex, just a fake name, like I said. But yeah, there's just like a rumor between Alex, like he's always around the psychology teacher. If you see her in the hallway, she always wants to be near him. I don't know. It's just sometimes he'll be in her classroom when it's not even his class. And that's not to say that Alex is strange. The teacher is the only strange one here in this scenario, but it's odd to the point that people called her out on it. And she states that the only reason her and Alex are so close is because they're like siblings. He's like her brother, which I feel like when you hear people calling someone, oh, that's like my brother, there's only 3 ways this goes, okay? A, they are literally siblings or cousins or related by DNA in some way, shape, or form, which does not apply to this teacher and student. B, they grew up together and experienced a lot of hardship or something that they can relate to, which again, doesn't apply to this teacher and student dynamic. And C, when someone is trying to deflect and distract from the fact that they definitely do not see this individual as their brother. That's it. I feel like those are the only 3 ways it goes. That's it. But not only that, they would bicker like siblings. And on top of that, the teacher would just bring this male student up in every single conversation, even if it's not about him, has nothing to do with him. She would somehow manage a way to weasel his name into this conversation with other students. It's just weird. Like, are you obsessed with Alex or something? But the teacher is on like the younger side of the other teacher. She's 27. And so while it's highly inappropriate, unprofessional, and should stop, maybe there's nothing more to it. Like maybe that's why nobody reported it. But another recent graduate of Centennial says, I don't know. I overheard something really, really strange. Very strange conversation. The psychology teacher and the football student, they're in the hallway, kind of hush-hush whispering, arguing. And as the former student is walking back, they heard the student say something to the teacher along the effect of, I have a girlfriend. Why are you so worried about what I do? Which is just weird. Why would a teacher be so concerned about that? Mm-hmm. Then there's the video rumor. A couple of students started telling their friends, who told their friends, who told their friends, who told their friends, and like maybe some of them told their parents. But the rumor is there's a video of one of the teachers giving a student oral in her classroom. Jess is a woman on a mission. It's not an open secret if it's a little crime. Jess goes straight onto the website submissions page and she starts typing up her tip. She enters her
Jess?
name.
A student?
Jess is the mother of a student.
Oh.
Former student, graduated student. She starts typing up her name, address, phone number, email in the tip submissions part. And Jess writes that her daughter used to attend the school and was on the soccer team. And her soccer coach...
tip to what website?
Oh, the police website.
Oh, okay.
And the daughter's soccer coach, who also happens to be the psychology teacher, has just always had this unprofessional air to her. The way she handles herself around the students, it just never felt right with Jess. She remembers distinctly how she spoke with the soccer coach, at least on one occasion, about, quote, how I felt like her relationship was inappropriate with all the kids. However, I know that last year's team has a lot of info about a boy that she had apparently an inappropriate student-teacher relationship with. He would meet her during non-school hours, and they were definitely Snapchatting. In the portion that reads suspect name, she types in Haley Beck and sends it to the Peoria Police Department, where Detective Kraber, a detective in the Heat Division, so this is Human Exploitation and Trafficking Unit, picks up the tip. He immediately calls Jess back for more information. And she tells the detective, look, she's never been appropriate with her kids. She's never acted like some sort of authority figure, and she cares more about being a peer to the students than anything. She gossips with the students, and she worries about what they think about her. And it's just like, she wants to be our kids' friends. Apparently, Haley even texted Jess's daughter that Jess's daughter is being bratty. Like, you're being bratty. A teacher texting a student that the student is being bratty, which is weirdly unprofessional, and Jess describes it as being manipulative. But the reason for the tip is not because Haley Beck is one of those odd teachers that needs to get a grip to life and come to terms with the fact that these high school students don't see you as cool or their friend, all disrespect intended. Jess would not have filed a tip for that. It's because of Alex, okay? She's saying there's this kid, this football player named Alex, and he just comes to all the girls' soccer practices, even when he has no reason to be on campus. And it doesn't seem like he's doing it to be around the girls of the soccer team. He would attend all of these lock-ins, and students have started noticing that sometimes Haley and Alex would bicker, and some of the students were saying, oh, it's because they're like siblings. That's what Miss Beck said, right? But it feels like they're arguing like they're in some sort of relationship.
So she's submitting because she's worried about Alex, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then she says, but my daughter specifically heard something when they were arguing. And it's different from what the other student overheard because lots of tips are coming in simultaneously. And Jess says, my daughter was walking by when they were arguing in the hallway, and she overheard Miss Beck, the teacher, say something along the lines of, "This would wreck my career, not yours." And then there's just all the small, very alarming things. Sometimes Alex wouldn't be in class, but Haley would never mark him absent. Miss Beck would invite Alex and the entire football team to come swimming at her apartment swimming pool. And the other night, there was this whole conversation amongst the students that Miss Beck had given Alex head. That's the phrasing of it. Like, that's not me saying it because I think that would be a crime, but you get what I'm saying. Jess states at the end of this call, she feels really guilty because she doesn't have the proof of any sort of video or anything, but like these are the things that she's heard, and she feels conflicted about making this tip because if she hadn't called, then nobody else is going to get dragged into it. And now the police want to talk to her daughter. The police want to talk to these other high school kids, but they really, really need to look into 27-year-old Haley Beck, who's pretty easy to Google for the officers, by the way. She's not just a psychology teacher at the local high school. She's also the well-known older sister of a pretty well-known influencer by the name of Noah Beck. If you are one of the lucky people that did not download TikTok during the pandemic and continue down the easy pipeline of brain rotting like myself, you may have no clue who Noah Beck is, which is neither here nor there. Just know that he's a big influencer with over 30 million followers on TikTok, and he makes a lot of money. And I don't want to say definitively, but it seems like he has not been in any career-ending controversies. He seems unproblematic compared to some of the other TikTokers during that time period. He mainly does a lot of big brand trips now. I think he's getting into acting. I think he has a few shows on Netflix that he's working on. So yeah, I think he's mainly trying to be an actor.
He's dating
He did date Dixie D'Amelio, but
really?
I think they were broken up a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's like from that era, right? But he makes a lot of money, which may or may not be the only tiny detail that will hold relevance to this later. But he also did some family vlogs that feature two of his sisters. So you've got Haley Beck, the oldest Beck child, and it appears that she's always had the going down the right path type of childhood, while her younger siblings, Tatum Beck, her younger sister, her younger brother, Noah Beck, were the troublemakers. That's how they talk about their relationships.
Haley Beck, everyone. This is the oldest of the Beck children. She's the middle. I'm the baby.
They're like, Haley Beck is like the golden kid, the perfect child or whatever.
Who's most likely to go to jail? Who has more common sense?
Wow.
And then Tatum Beck is like the troublemaker. She likes to throw pizzas at Haley Beck.
She threw pizza at me.
Oh my God. She do that?
Okay, well, got my hair.
But is Haley Beck also a like influencer or not at all? Or she's just only as a sister?
Only as a sister.
So she doesn't have her own TikTok and all of
She
that.
does, but now not anymore. It's pretty much gone. But she was never famous for her TikTok. She was really only famous for being Noah Beck's sister.
And I'm assuming everybody in school knows that too, right? That's Noah Beck's sister.
Yeah. And apparently, oh my God, there's like this rumor. I couldn't confirm, but there were some anonymous students that were formerly in her class that said that because she's a psychology teacher, she would use Noah Beck and Dixie D'Amelio as personality references, which was just weird, very bizarre, very parasocial.
That's very interesting because you were saying she wants to be a friend.
Yeah.
And her brother is basically the biggest star for high school kids.
Yeah.
Must play a lot of roles in her brain and her interaction with the kids, right?
Yeah, which makes it, I think, more sick.
Yeah.
Not that Noah Beck did anything wrong.
Yeah.
He doesn't even live in Arizona anymore. So just pointing that out. But more on that later because there is a part about Noah Beck in the police report that is unverified, but we'll get there. Haley goes on to become a high school psychology teacher, and she says in an interview,
teachers can have connections with kids, and I feel like that's one of the most important parts of teaching, because at the end of the day, you never know, like, I might be the only person in someone's life that does care, and so I try really hard to make that known in my teaching and in my interactions with students.
and then there's really not much else about her until recently, where every single TikTok of Haley Beck in her classroom teaching has seemingly gone viral because there's a rumor that Haley Beck is the teacher in the video, where I would consider it essay, but oral is committed against a student. Do you remember the TikTok trend where two people would be running, filming each other? They take turns. So one person pretends to be the suspect, the other pretends to be the cop chasing the suspect. And as they're running, the cop, the one that's filming, will say something like, suspect is a 25-year-old and still takes a bubble bath every single day. Suspect can't grow a beard.
Suspect can't grow a beard.
Come on.
You know, they're supposed to be oddly specific. You get it. You've seen it. Noah Beck has done one with his siblings a while back, and Haley Beck is running, and Noah Beck says suspect's best friends are her students. And Haley stops running to say, they're nice to me.
Suspect's best friends are students.
They're nice to me.
Then another TikTok is dug up. Same trend, but this time it looks like it's Haley and another, maybe a teacher or a student in a cafeteria. And Haley is running through this empty cafeteria, and a girl's voice on the other end says, suspect has a cult following of high school boys.
Suspect has a cult following of high school boys.
And there is a TikTok that has since started going viral, which is a picture of Haley Beck in her class. And on the whiteboard behind her, it's written Mommy Beck. Whether she wrote that and told the students to call her Mommy Beck, whether one of the students wrote it and she just didn't erase it immediately, it's unclear. There's nothing inherently illegal or fireable in the videos of her in the classroom, at least the ones circulating online. Although I do think that she did break some school rules. Because I don't think you're allowed to have students' voices or their faces in any TikToks without the parents' consent.
Oh, so she films TikToks.
She also would like film TikToks in her classroom, and they were just so cringe. They've all been wiped from the internet, but you can see some reposts on TikTok where she just behaves in a way that I would never want my child anywhere near her, and I don't even have children.
Like, what does that mean?
She's the epitome of a teacher that I think is not all there in the head. She likes to sing at her desk while the students are trying to focus, and it's very like, oh, pay attention to me.
Do you remember the 21st night of September?
And then she'll be like, oops, sorry, I don't even know why I'm seeing that. And then there's another part, like this one really just grinds my gears. And I do think that I have at times a very uncomfortable cadence and tone of voice, and maybe there is some vocal fry in my throat. But with Haley Beck, this is a student. This is a professional setting. And she's talking to a student and she's like, Austin, stop. And I'm like, what is fucking happening?
Is there like a trend that she's doing, or just like clips of her life?
These are clips of her life. And this is like at the time when a lot of teachers were filming themselves in classrooms. And then there was like a wave, a wave of teachers filming themselves. And then a lot of schools got mad. A lot of kids got mad. A lot of the internet got mad because they were like, you are like a toxic teacher. You're a weird teacher. So she has some of these, but I mean, maybe they're fireable offenses, but nothing inherently illegal in what has come up on TikTok. It's just a combination of all the things that she does. She has a tendency to consistently try to fit in with the kids and make the class about herself. There's another TikTok where she's up on the table while the kids are exiting the classroom, and it just seems like she's doing it to be cool.
What do you mean up on the table? Standing on
Yeah,
desks?
and she's like watching them all leave. I don't know. Like, I just never had teachers really behave like that. It just makes you uncomfortable. She's bickering with students. Later, another student would say that the football boys and Haley Beck would constantly be making TikToks in her classroom. So I guess like the football boys would post their own TikToks. And that Haley Beck started acting more like a friend rather than a coach or a teacher. The football guys would always be behind her desk joking around with her. There is this one picture that one of the football guys took. Boys, children, students, okay, just emphasis. He's sitting at her, what it seems to be her chair. And she's leaned over her desk. And it's just like the most weird body language. Highly uncomfortable. One student says, Miss Beck would be teaching her class, and suddenly when the football players came in, she would stop teaching and just talk to them. And the way that they talked would be like that middle school teasing, flirting type of dynamic. There's also this newly circulating TikTok of a male student filming himself. I'm not going to post it, but it has gone viral. He's likely under the influence given the caption, but he's stating that he invited Haley Beck to pull up to his grad party, and she did. And now she's another student's partner in pong. I'm assuming beer pong. I don't know if there's beer in there or if it's Gatorade. Probably not Gatorade. It's probably beer. But he flips the camera, and sure enough, there's Haley Beck at a house party.
That is wild.
Other students have come out to say that being in Haley Beck's class was just weird. She would openly talk about her dating life, which is not normal. classroom behavior. And so with all of this and the tip from one of the parents to the police department, the police decide that they're going to start a full-blown investigation. In fact, they have tips about other things going on in Centennial High School. So they're just going to upend and do a full overhaul and look into everything. And they start pulling up other names that they think are going to be good witnesses. They're calling their parents, because most of them are underage, asking if they can come in for an interview. And all of them are led into the soft room. The soft interview room in big police departments is specifically designed to create a comfortable, calm environment. It's usually reserved for victims, witnesses, and for this situation, children, not the perpetrators. Multiple students are brought in from Centennial High School into the soft room where they're asked, "Can you tell us what you know about the ongoing investigation?" One of the students responds, "Which one?" The police don't start investigating Centennial High School because of a tip on Haley Beck. There is already an investigation underway on a separate teacher, 47-year-old Angela Berlacca.
Two teachers at Centennial High in Peoria were accused of sexually abusing a student.
In my 30 years of two females perpetrating against the same.
What is going on in this school?
While police are investigating Angela Berlacca, tips are coming in about 27-year-old Haley Beck. So now they're like, okay, well, let's investigate both of them. And this is how both teachers are getting investigated for grooming their students. And random parents from Centennial High School end up opening their front doors, seeing a business card taped on the front for a detective. One of the mother calls the detective and says, I don't know what this is all about. Well, kind of. She says she figured out, given all the recent events, she had heard rumors milling about concerning some teachers at the school, but she doesn't know all the details, but she heard that her child might know more. She and her daughter, who we will randomly call Taylor is 17, get called into the soft room. Okay, so the police, they don't do like an audio transcription. So there's an audio and video file that we were not able to FOIA, which is understandable. This is still an open investigation after all as well. But they don't have a transcript for the audio. So this is the police officer paraphrasing their entire conversation based off the interview. So these are, I don't want to say they're direct quotes, but they're as direct as it gets. Like these are all the statements the police reiterated in the police report. So Taylor tells the detectives, "I heard some rumors about Miss Berlacca." What kind of rumors? That 47-year-old Angela Berlacca, a teacher at the high school, would send nudes to football players, and that she would add a bunch of the boys on Snapchat. But a lot of the students like Miss Berlacca and felt that she was never odd in class. Like Taylor is like, "Oh, no, Miss Berlacca is not like Haley Beck, where she's obsessed with the boy students. She's actually pretty nice to me, but I don't know, this is the rumor that I heard, so maybe the rumor is just a rumor." Taylor reports to the detective that she personally noticed that Angela Berlacca started getting weird to her when she started dating another student. Redacted. So we're going to call him Redacted for now.
Wait, Taylor, the 47-year-old teacher getting weird to Taylor?
Yeah, so 47-year-old Angela Berlacca starts acting weird around 17-year-old Taylor. And Taylor is like, all I know is it started when I started dating my boyfriend, another 17-year-old at the school.
Is he a football player?
Yeah. So Taylor starts dating Redacted, male student in the school. And that's when Angela Berlacca, the teacher, starts acting very strange, as per the report. When Taylor would go to the bathroom, Angela would ask her if she's going to go hang out with her boyfriend. She would ask Taylor about her boyfriend all the time. And like Taylor thinks it's weird. Also, Miss Berlacca was one of the first people that found out that Taylor and her boyfriend were even dating. Like, how did she even find out so quickly? And then Taylor finds out through mutual friends of her and her new boyfriend that Angela had actually added her boyfriend on Snapchat when he was a freshman or sophomore. So this was like a while back. And she was always sending him weird stuff, like messages, allegedly like, "My husband doesn't satisfy me enough."
What?
This is a 47-year-old teacher sending this to a freshman or sophomore in high school.
That's crazy.
Miss Berlacca
Are
would...
teachers supposed to have a Snapchat
No.
with their students?
No.
Is that even allowed? That's crazy.
So teachers actually have email portals, or sometimes they have these each school is different. So some schools have software where you can like message teachers, but it's like a school software and it's all monitored.
Yeah.
But no, teachers are not supposed to have any sort of personal contact with students outside of class. And usually teachers, the last thing they want is to fucking see a student outside of class or talk to them. So this is really weird.
Wow, crazy.
She would invite him to the classroom early before the rest of the students would get there, and she would tell him not to tell anyone about what she's saying. But Taylor's boyfriend never told Taylor any of this himself. So this is all she's hearing through mutual friends. She never saw these messages on his phone. So she's like, I don't know if it's true. It's just what I've heard. But there are more rumors about Miss Berlocka, that multiple male students, children, received similar messages. And Taylor says, quote, I just knew the whole football team is bonded over how weird the teachers are and that they've seen the same pictures of Miss Berlocka. Same pictures.
Wow, so she's mass sending her news to the whole team?
Could be. The police bring in Angela Berlocka, and she tells the officers that she has been working as a teacher for the past 26 years. She's been employed as a teacher way longer than any of these children have been on the face of this planet. She also teaches at this redacted, it sounds like a daycare, and she teaches early child development and is in charge of the preschool. So initially in the interview, even though Angela knows what's going on, she just tells the police that she really only has interactions with students via email and she only communicates with students for school-related purposes. The police report reads, I then asked her if she communicates with students outside of school purposes. I'm not going to answer that question. Would there be any reason why a student would have your personal phone number? No reason for that. I'm just going to say this, but I feel like anything I say is going to be viewed as wrong. She goes on to say that in the event of going on a field trip or something, Angela has given out her phone number before to some students, some teachers, some other parents, but other than that, no reason. That makes sense, right? Would there be any reason a student would have any images or videos of you in a state of nudity? Angela immediately states that she's not going to answer the question and requests an attorney, thus ending the interview. And she knows why, because the second that the police get a warrant for her phone records and start going through it, they're going to see that she is indeed on Snapchat talking to students. Taylor's boyfriend, to be exact. On Snapchat, she messages Taylor's boyfriend, her student, first. Who's your tattoo artist?
Wow. Wait, but are these still recorded on Snapchat or they're gone?
They're gone, but the police are able to subpoena Snapchat. So the police are out here subpoenaing Snapchat.
Wait, so Snapchat also has a whole record of everything?
Oh, yeah. Snapchat actually has a back-end portal for law enforcement where they can go in and ask for search warrants. And I think...
Interesting.
Yeah, they have like all the big tech companies. And I'm saying this because I don't know why people are so dumb in this day and age. If you're committing a crime, all the big tech companies, they have preservation requests that law enforcement fill out, and they preserve all the metadata.
Yeah.
They're legally required to. And I'm not saying that so you can get away with the crime. I'm saying that because it's so mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I would say that this is more so if you're not committing a crime and maybe you have other sensitive information that you wouldn't want certain government agencies to know, just know that, right? But...
Wow.
So she's like, who's your tattoo artist? This guy named Creep on 43rd Avenue in Grand. And then he responds, shaking my head, why'd you unadd me? So she added him, unadded him, and then Angela Berlocka responds, just trying to stay out of trouble. If you say so. You got any free time coming up, B? So they all call her Miss B.
Uh-huh.
I'm leaving town this weekend. Where to? Colorado for a week, last vacay before school starts. Summer goes fast. It really does. No response. So Angela Berlocka messages again in the morning, good morning. Now he responds, good morning. Curious if your offers are still on the table.
Wait, who?
The student is asking if your offers are still on the table. We don't know the offers based off this conversation, but Angela Berlocka responds, yes, but not right now. The student responds, catch me in December. I'm curious if you teach some things or not. Are you graduating early? Yeah, I am. I'll be done in December, so catch me over break when you got free time. I need to see if you got any special tricks. And I'll be 19. Nice, and I'd be happy to. We'll see what you got up your sleeve. And I guess he copied her message on Snapchat or something, but she's like, anything you want. You know, what's with you copying my message, though? Should I be worried?
Who is the student?
Angela Berlocka is like, you copied my message. Should I be worried? Yeah.
Screenshotting and stuff.
And he's like, not about me. Good to know.
So she's 47.
Yeah.
The student was like 17.
He is now
18.
18. Yeah, turning 19.
So she's 30 years older.
Yeah.
Does she have any children? Do you know?
She's married and has children.
God.
It is atrocious, but the deep, dark abyss of hell can always get darker. Once investigators start digging, they interview Taylor's boyfriend's grandmother, and she states that her grandson confided in her that his teacher was being inappropriate with him. She also reached out to the police on a separate tip, stating that a teacher has been sending her grandson, Taylor's boyfriend, inappropriate messages and videos. One video is described in the police report as, quote, a video where the teacher was nude and masturbating with a
toy?
Yeah, a cucumber-shaped device. In addition to this, the female teacher was saying Redacted's name in the video, as well as stating that she wants to S him dry. The video footage shows the teacher's face as well as identifying tattoos, as well as another video of Angela Berlocca. In addition to Redacted, there are 3 other students involved.
What do you mean three students involved?
Whether they received similar messages or similar offers, but there are other students that are semi-involved in being groomed. This video was sent to the student when he was 16 years old, not when he was 18. There's another video that the police find, which includes an adult female, likely Angela Berlocca, in the shower unclothed. Her face is not in it, but it appears to be her. It matches with her shower. It matches with the containers in her shower and some of the identifying tattoos. The video is 2 entire minutes long, and she's just pointing the camera downwards and like soaping up her body. And Angela Berlocca is very clearly, in my opinion, a predator. Neither of them have been charged yet, but can the same be said about Haley Beck, at least as far as this investigation right now, at this point? It's like the police opened up a can of worms with Angela Berlocca's case, and that leads them to open up another can of worms or a can of eels with Haley Beck. So they're like, okay, we've got Angela Berlocca, we've got these videos, and now everybody's talking about another teacher named Haley Beck. Like, what's happening? Another student is brought in, and she tells officers that she's heard a rumor that Haley Beck and Alex have been together since Alex, that student, was 16 years old, and that wouldn't surprise her. They're like, what do you mean by that? Miss Beck acts like she's still in high school and she's obsessed with the football team. She would mention how when she was in high school, she dated a football player. Not only that, another student states, one time I was in yearbook class, I stopped by Miss Beck's classroom. When I got there was like at least 30 football players inside. They're having a pizza party. And the student walks in and Miss Beck looks at her and goes, well, this looks weird. And she didn't think it looked weird, but now that Miss Beck said that it was weird, that made it weird. And she never allows female students to hang out in her classroom after class, but she allows all the male students. Another student who graduated states she hated being in Miss Beck's classroom. Why? She just has a weird focus on guys. Her classroom environment was annoying. She would prioritize the male students' attention over teaching. There's also rumors that she gave a male student a Christmas present, that she filmed a TikTok inside of the car of one of the male students. Like, it wasn't scandalous, but why are you in a student's car filming a TikTok? One student says something incredibly alarming, though. They state that there are at least a group of 8 to 9 football kids that she knows of where they were in a competition. And that competition was to see who could get the most inappropriate videos and pictures of either of the 2 teachers, Angela Berlocca and Haley Beck. Normally, this type of competition would be a reason for students to be in trouble because it is inappropriate, but no teacher in their right mind would ever send anyone any material for this sick competition that they have going on, right? Police subpoena Angela Berlocca's phone, and they also subpoena and do a search warrant on Haley Beck's phone. And inside Haley Beck's, they find text messages between Haley Beck and this student named Alex, and they're both referencing faculty pictures. So specifically of Haley Beck. So, you know, each teacher, they need like an ID tag. And Haley Beck, she's talking about her ID tag picture. And Alex states bluntly, those ID pics are funny. Haley Beck, the teacher, responds in a confused manner, like, funny? Why? Oh, let me guess. I was a beluga in the first few. So she's saying that she was much heavier in the first few pictures when she first started teaching. Bro, my sophomore year, you were 1 billion% overweight. And now you look fire. One netizen writes, if someone told me I was 1 billion% overweight, I would have to KMS. Alex goes on to like the text message. Oh, let me guess, I was a beluga in the first few years. And he responds to that. The student responds and he says, man, ain't that right? Yeah, but like you still fucked with me then, like as a person. Negative. You were a cool teacher though. Is my one this year good then? And you're my current teacher. Or better, at least, you're telling me you wouldn't have tried with me back then solely because of the teacher aspect? No, not at all. Because it would have been like, she's not even a flex, she's rough. Right. I was just cool. Okay, be nice. You asked. Same way I think about Miss B. If she was a little more fit, I would have died in the pussy.
Miss B?
Berlaka.
Haley Beck knows what's going on.
Yeah, and she's not reporting it because she's doing the same thing.
Does Miss B know about Haley Beck though?
We don't know.
What?
And Haley Beck responds, bro, she's also like 50 though. But she's too damn big for me right now. Question mark, question mark. Age is just a number, baby. She's starving for the young dick.
Who said this?
The student.
Oh.
And I do want to preface that there's going to be a lot of uncomfortable messages where this 18-year-old student is saying sometimes uncomfortable things about women, women's bodies, and his girlfriend in particular. But I don't think that he's at fault for anything.
Yeah.
Like, I
not
think
the
there's,
point of this crime.
yeah. There's no crime in an 18-year-old talking like this, behaving this way, especially when you have to factor in the trauma element of like, we don't know how long he's been preyed on in this school and how that could alter the way that he also thinks and speaks. I'm not justifying it, but I'm just saying he's genuinely a victim in this situation. Haley responds, I mean, yeah, I guess, even though our situation is still not right, at least we're closer in age. I don't like being compared to Miss B. Nah.
Jealous?
Yeah. She's jealous that
fucking
someone else is
jealous?
grooming her victim. And he responds, nah, 100%. A tad more normalized. Like, if I'm 25 and you're 33, who cares? But if I'm 25 and she's 55, holy gilf. Alex likes the message that Haley sends of not wanting to be compared to Angela Berlaka, and he writes, luckily I haven't cracked her yet. Right, like this sounds more normal. Like an older woman, go you. Sick. I can't even look at her without thinking of her literal vagina. So investigators put two and two together that both Angela Berlaka and Haley Beck are victimizing the same student. The message where she is sending the video with that object and saying a student's name, it's Alex. It's the same student. And on Haley Beck's end, she knows what Angela Berlaka has been doing and has not reported it because she's doing the same thing to the child. Alex's age-appropriate girlfriend, Taylor, tells the police, Miss Beck
Taylor is Alex's girlfriend?
And she tells the police, Miss Beck is a weirdo. She's weird with all the students. She's weird with the high school boys. She's flirty and she's fixated on still being in high school. Everyone knows that, including the other teachers. Haley Beck would go around telling students that other teachers questioned her about being inappropriate with students or too friendly, but she doesn't even appear to be worried about it. Like, she almost says it as if it's something to be proud of, like some sort of badge of honor, that she's so cool that even the other teachers are telling her to stop being like one of the kids. Taylor says,
and other teachers know about this?
Yes. Or at least seems like they have an idea. Taylor says she never liked Miss Beck. She had Miss Beck for psychology all last year, didn't like her, especially because Miss Beck was always texting Alex. Haley Beck would text Alex. I mean, she would text all the football boys, but specifically Alex, and she would send him money and weird shit. According to the police report, Taylor says weird shit. And she was constantly asking Alex about his high school girlfriend, Taylor. Haley would be texting Alex, what are you doing? I'm with Taylor, bro. Haley would just call him weird, which Alex would get offended by, and he would respond to Haley, like his teacher, that he's gonna be rude and weird to her because she's weird for texting him. He would straight up tell her, your ass is gonna get in trouble because you're texting me. Haley Beck did not care. Taylor states, I never saw anything like freaky in the text messages from Miss Beck. It would just be like her sending money and asking him, what are you doing today? Or like, let's go grab food. It was like she was trying to hang out with him.
Okay, so him and I started dating last spring. It was like April probably. And then I had her as a teacher the semester prior to that, so first semester of junior year. But I did know about her texting him and sending him money, trying to hang out with him.
That's fucking crazy. In what scenario would a teacher send student money?
Yeah.
How much money?
It's always $20 or $30 each time, but it added up in the span of a month and a half to $630 on a teacher's salary.
Like Venmo him or?
Apple Pay.
Oh, like those gift card money on the text?
Yeah. Not even just any teacher. I think any adult sending any child money that is not directly related, that the parents know about, is so alarming.
Yeah.
But a teacher makes it even more alarming.
Yeah, 100%. Wow.
And Taylor was like, I know of at least one time where Haley, Beck, and Alex hung out. They went to this place called Fired Pie, which ironically is not like a pie place, it's a pizza spot. Well, I guess that makes more sense. But Alex is there with his friend, and Haley Beck just shows up, meets up with them, offering to pay for Alex's food. Taylor didn't even know about any of this until she asked Alex about it because she heard about it from someone else. And in this instance, he got mad that she asked. And like these are the small things where I think it's really important when you just read the messages between Haley Beck and the victim, the student, because he's a lot more aggressive in the text messages. Some netizens have gotten into this weird mindset where he's not a victim because he was 18. He's a victim. And I think these small instances where when he's asked about, did you see Haley Beck with his high school girlfriend, he gets upset. And that might be from a whole list of traumatic reasons that maybe have not been digested as being trauma. These are like the little things where it's very clear it's still impacting him in a tremendous way. So he got mad and he didn't want to talk about it. Now, the whole thing is odd. Taylor says that Haley Beck was constantly just like texting Alex as if they were friends or something. Like she would send him pictures, selfies, not like inappropriate or freaky. That's how she phrases it, though they are inappropriate. But just like pictures of herself. And she would just be asking, oh, should I post these on Instagram? Like he's some sort of social media manager, to which Alex would respond, I don't know. Or sometimes he would just not respond at all. What would happen then? The detective is asking. Miss Beck would get mad. Also, Haley Beck would constantly save photos of Alex on her Snapchat. And Taylor, a 17-year-old, is telling the detective, because the detective is like, why do you think she did that? And she's like, I don't know if maybe like Alex looked good in the photos or what. I don't know. And if you read the 200-page police document, these are the moments where I feel like, okay, this is where you see the impact on these kids, because we know why Haley is saving those pictures, but this is a 17-year-old girl who is just confused why a teacher is saving the pictures to begin with, and she's trying to come up with reasons in her mind. I think these are very impactful moments that should be remembered. But the police report reads, Taylor, quote, told Alex that Miss Beck was chasing him and that what Miss Beck was doing was weird, and Miss Beck is not all that. And then March of 2025, there was this whole incident where Taylor is in the car with Alex and he's saying that he needs to drop off his school computer because someone is going to do his homework for him. And she's like, who? Who's going to do your homework? Where are you dropping off your laptop? Like your school laptop? He's not responding. So she's like, okay, I'm just not going to question it then. They go and they drop off his computer. She doesn't see who he hands it to, but now she's connecting the dots and it's very clear that it was Haley Beck's apartment. So she connected the dots then. And then later, she sees text messages from Haley Beck to Alex that read along the lines of, the computer is charged. She turned in all the assignments except for one because the computer died. And she was like, it's just so weird.
Wow.
According to the police report, Taylor states she did most of his homework for his junior year, I think.
Do you know the timeline of things? When did it start? How long did it last?
So a lot of these text messages that we're going to get into between Haley Beck and the student are when he's 18 years old. But repeatedly throughout the police report, it states that Haley Beck and the grooming of the child probably started when he was closer to 16.
So 18, he was a senior.
Yeah.
So it was like sophomore. They started. Okay.
Yeah. Alex advised that Miss Beck does his homework for him for no reason and that she is just, quote, a weird ass bitch. And just every time Taylor and her boyfriend Alex would hang out, sure enough, Haley Beck would be texting Alex. I mean, there's always some notification from Haley Beck, their teacher. Most of the conversations that Taylor saw of Haley Beck were Haley Beck talking about food, going to get food with him, and asking if he wants to hang out with her in her classroom. Oh, and Haley Beck has this really weird thing against Taylor. She's telling the detectives, there was this one time where she was bringing Miss Beck food and drinks. I don't know if because there would be a lot of times that they would go out to eat and Haley Beck would give them her credit card, and then Alex would buy his food on her credit card, but also bring Haley Beck something back. So I guess Alex told Taylor to bring it to Miss Beck, her food and her drinks. So she goes, Haley Beck would not acknowledge her. And then she goes on to text Alex, never have Taylor have your little girlfriend bring stuff to me again.
This is getting crazy.
Haley Beck started asking students in my class and my friends, just anybody that had any relationship with me, random questions about me. She tried to find out him and I's relationship status, what we did together, how we acted, what I did in my free time, who I talked to, who I hung out with, really weird things that teachers usually don't care about. There was also this specific time where she was telling one of the football boys on our team that I was stealing her boyfriend and that she needed to get rid of me.
She would constantly ask the other football boys whether or not Alex and Taylor's relationship was serious and if they were actually really dating. The statement report for Taylor's interview reads, Miss Beck was just weird. She was always flirty and trying to text Alex. Miss Beck would also excuse all of his absences so that he could pass the class. She would give him all A's. Same thing with Miss B, Angela Berlacca. Miss B didn't have Alex as a student, but when he asked her to excuse one of his absences, she would. It was wild.
Bro never came to class, ever. Like, you'd probably see him once every 2 weeks, week and a half. Never there yet. He still had the best grade and the smartest kid in that class.
What does Miss B teach again?
I think math. And the whole school knew to some degree. Like, they've been receiving tips about this for a while. One tip that the school received was, hello, I hope you're doing well. I'm writing to share a concern regarding Miss Beck and a student that I believe warrants your attention. My sister, redacted, who is a student, has mentioned feeling uncomfortable about Miss Beck's interactions with Alex. She has observed and heard about several instances that seem inappropriate, including frequent communication, texts between Miss Beck and Alex via Snapchat. Miss Beck gives Alex a Christmas gift while not giving anything to other teammates. Miss Beck and Alex have been seen in a vehicle together. My sister and other students have noticed this behavior but are hesitant to report it due to the fear of being labeled as a snitch. There also seems to be a reluctance to speak up due to the stigma surrounding a male student in this type of situation. While my sister is unwilling to provide further details, I believe other students may be able to share more information if approached. I understand this is a serious concern, and I trust that the school will handle it and the appropriate discretion and urgency will be applied. Please let me know if there's anything further I can do. Thank you for your time. Best regards.
So did school do anything? Like, is there anybody spoken out?
Yes, the principal did reach out to Haley and stated, Haley denied any of the accusations but was receptive to the feedback. So they basically just tell Haley, hey, don't be so inappropriate with the kids. Don't act like their friend. That's not even what the tip is. It's not even like, oh, she's being inappropriate. So there's a lot of anger in Arizona right now against the school board.
You think they know, they just choose not to do anything?
Yeah. I think they choose not to do anything because it likely causes a lot of scandal. And when you're dealing with this Centennial High School seems like a heavy football school. And if you ever go to a football heavy high school, it's just really, they act like they're part of the fucking NFL. I don't know how to describe it. And I do think that there is some understanding to that in the sense of a lot of these kids, they do start their entire NFL career in high school, obviously. But the way that they don't want any sort of scandal involving their athletic teams. And I think if there is a victim of a teacher, it doesn't look good with all the parents.
Yeah.
I think it's easier for the school board to ignore it. And this is exactly how receptive to feedback Haley Beck was. Haley Beck messages Alex that she's in a teacher's group chat with Angela Berlacca and the other teachers, and she texts, in a group with Berlacca for our meeting, feels so wrong. Alex laughs at the message because she's likely referencing the fact that she saw Angela Berlacca's videos that were sent to Alex. But she's almost acting like, oh, your ex-girlfriend's in the room with me. It's so weird.
Yeah.
What do you mean? The other predator is in the room with you, also a predator? And you're going to tell the victim that and that you feel weird about it? Later, word spreads about a potential investigation into Berlacca. Haley messages Alex, what am I supposed to do about this right now? If I don't provide later, you can call me lame. And he's like, deal. So the provide, we're going to get to that context later. But she's like, kind of freaking out. Delete everything about me in your phone, probably. I don't think it's about you, though. So she's saying, I'm freaking out about this investigation. And the victim is like, delete everything about me in your phone, probably. I don't think it's about you, though. I think Miss B is in some shit, and they're trying to get me in for questioning. Haley Beck is saying, everything has been deleted. You do the same. But let me know what it's about. I'm nervous. I have no clue. I think she just got caught up with some other kids, and they said my name, and it got brought up.
Are these texts or Snapchat?
Some of these are Snapchat. Yeah. Wow. I have something to give you also. Okay, so as long as it's about her, I just got an email about Berlacca. What's the email about? Haley screenshots the email about Angela Berlacca being placed on administrative leave. Haley then asks, I wonder who said something. Are you gonna have to call the police? Just don't text me right now. They can eat a dick. I don't know anything at all. Okay, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what's going on. All right, well, I hope you're not weird with me or something, but okay.
Wait.
There is an investigation going on into Angela Berlacca, and Haley Beck is worried about him being weird with her, pulling away from her.
What is going on in her head?
He's the one that's delete everything, get a grip.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, nah, just trying not to create any new situations. I mean, you see this shit in front of your face. Like, just wanting to be like updated about your stuff, really. Like, yeah, this is like a you and me thing though. Not that it's right, but others were involved with her, so no need to get automatically standoffish with me though. He goes on to state that the police, quote, they showed up at my door banging on it at 6 a.m. on the first day of school and fucked up every plan we had up there. Didn't get to talk to any coaches or any people or anything. Wait, what? They came to your house? I gotta go. Delete this shit. You're being weird, but okay.
Yo, my jaw is on the ground.
Yeah.
What is going on?
If you were to redact both names in the messages, it's hard to say which ones are Haley Beck and which ones are the victim, because at times it appears the victim seems to have a stronger grip on reality and the circumstances, and that's not excusing anything for Haley Beck. That's just emphasizing how perverted everything is. Even the victim is more aware of the happenings and what the implications could be rather than Haley, the perpetrator. And somehow it all gets worse, exponentially worse, with all the other messages between Haley Beck and her student. You guys know we love Shopify. My family and I were able to make a lifelong dream come true after launching Grandpa Mingo's art studio, sharing my husband's grandfather's art with all of you. And that is something that we could not have done without Shopify. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the United States. From household names to brands that are just getting started. And that iconic purple Shop Pay button that's used by millions of businesses around the world, it is why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. It also helps boost conversions, meaning less carts go abandoned and more sales for you. My favorite part about Shopify is it's so user-friendly. From a consumer customer standpoint to a small business owner, we were able to set up Grandpa Mingo's art studio website in one sitting with their templates. And I'm reminded of how top tier Shopify is whenever I forget my card information and I see that purple Shop Pay button and I can check out seamlessly. It's time to turn those what ifs into sales with Shopify today. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/rotten. Go to shopify.com/rotten. That's shopify.com/rotten. You wouldn't hire a dentist for heart surgery or a plumber for your taxes. Hiring the wrong people can be disastrous, which is exactly where Morgan & Morgan come in. Morgan & Morgan focuses on cases where individuals have been harmed due to negligence, unsafe conditions, or wrongful conduct. Their contingency fee basis, meaning their fee is free unless they win, allows individuals and families to pursue legal representation without worrying about paying out-of-pocket legal costs during an already difficult time. They fight for the people and not the powerful institutions that seek to deny fair and full compensation. Morgan & Morgan has over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers. With over $30 billion recovered for over 500,000 clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. If you've been hurt due to the negligence of someone else, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. Just click the link in the description below or visit forthepeople.com/rotten. That's forthepeople.com/rotten or dial pound LAW 529 from your phone. This is a paid advertisement. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it is usually a highly coordinated event to go to the movies. You have to make sure you're in the right parking lot, you have the right tickets, the right seat, and then when you're done watching the movie, you have to make sure that your eyes quickly adjust to the sunlight outside before you call your partner. Because they're at the house going through everything. Your partner is going through the trash, the laundry baskets. It is invasive, but that is exactly how you carry out a search warrant. Haley is at the movies with one of her girlfriends, age-appropriate girlfriends, when one of the cops are searching her entire apartment. When she gets back, she's asking, well, can I go into the apartment and grab some water?
Wait, it's like a secret search or?
It's a search warrant, so they typically don't want the target inside the house.
Oh, so they told her to leave.
No, they were just scouting. So one partner is in the car watching Haley, driving around, following her. She goes into the movies and the other partner is at Haley's house. They get in through management and they're searching the entire apartment.
So they don't even need to tell her. It's like
they do need to tell her when she gets back.
But they can search first and then tell her?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so they get back. And Haley is grabbing water. You know, they're trying to watch her so that she's not touching anything. She's just at the kitchen sink. And that's when not Haley, but her friend that she went to the movies with, turns to one of the cops and says, "Hey, you were sitting behind us at the movies." And that's how you execute a search warrant.
Did she get caught by shock, or is this already in the midst of this investigation she's aware of?
She's aware of Angela Berlocca being investigated, but I don't think that she knew that she was being investigated.
So this is a total surprise.
Yeah. To her, because
Yeah.
I think that she is...
She thought everything was good. She wanted to maintain this relationship or whatever.
I think it's a shock to her because she has nothing in that mind of hers other than predatory intentions. But with someone who might have had a few more neurons, they would not be surprised.
Right. So she came home. She's like, whoa, police just went.
Exactly.
Okay.
And she's like, okay, well, let me talk to the officers. And she says, no, my relationship with the student Alex has been strictly professional. She did connect with him over Instagram over the summer because she just felt like he was in a weird place. Some context to note, Alex is going to be transferring from Centennial High School in Arizona to a separate high school in San Diego, California. And this was already planned before the investigation, but it does get ramped up because of the investigation. And I believe from the police report and all of the other little nuggets of information that we're getting from other parents, it seems like he was doing the transfer because it would increase his chances of getting scouted for, I don't know, college football or something of that sort. So she connected with him over Instagram over the summer, and she just thought that he was in a weird place about transferring to a new school in California. So she wanted to be there for him. And according to the police report, quote, Haley said she felt like she and Alex had a good student-teacher relationship and he felt comfortable talking about issues with her. Haley said that she and Alex did not follow each other on Instagram, but that Alex was giving her a heads up about leaving. And quote, Haley told me her brother has a significant following on social media. It's just like so random. The officer writes, I had conducted research prior to speaking with Haley and learned Haley's brother, Noah Beck, is a high-income social media personality. Noah Beck is reported to have 33.5 million followers on TikTok, 7.8 million followers on Instagram, and over 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube. Noah has a reported net worth to be anywhere between $3 to $6 million as of 2024. Noah was listed in Forbes 30 under 30 social media in 2023. The police report reads, next, I told Haley I had received information that there had been complaints about other staff and students about Haley's relationship with Alex. I provided examples of hearing about inappropriate messages and being seen together in public. I asked Haley if there was any truth to any of these accusations. Haley said that she would go to away football games with other staff members to support the team. She denied any times intentionally meeting up with Alex in public. She provided examples of randomly seeing Alex at local restaurants, but was never a planned meeting. Haley said Alex's residence is a few blocks from her parents' house. She described an incident where she was walking her dog while house sitting for her parents and happened to see Alex. Haley denied ever trying to seek Alex out or make any type of plan to meet up with him. Further, it reads, when asked why allegations of an inappropriate relationship between Haley and Alex would be made against her, she chuckled and said she had a few ideas. Haley said Alex is a very sociable person and popular at school. He is, quote, good with his words, and she has seen it in action when Alex talks to girls in class. Haley continued and said the previous semester, Alex's attendance was poor. She had voiced to Alex, and he said that going to college was important to him. So Haley helped Alex with his attendance by opening up her classroom to him after school to make up for his attendance. She felt because of this, the rumors started about Alex and Haley. She said that she is equally close to her soccer students, but because they're girls, that's not talked about. She has confided in other teachers and was told, yeah, younger teachers go through this. She also just casually brings up a lot of students go to the pool at her apartment complex. So they would know where she lives, which sounds very convenient. I told Haley that it had been brought up during the investigation. There was a video of Haley performing oral sex on Alex, and I asked if that were true. Haley adamantly denies and said absolutely not. That is one thing I would say 100% deny. She said it was insane that this would even be alleged. I then asked Haley if there was ever a sexual relationship with Alex before or after he turned 18, and she said no. Haley was adamant Alex has never come to her apartment and she has never had a relationship outside of a student-teacher relationship. I'm still unsure exactly how many times someone has to be bonked on the head to get to the point where they truly believe that they can delete shit off their devices, but I think the number is low considering how many people are under this impression that out of sight, out of mind. Okay, surely if it doesn't show up on my end of the screen, police can't find it. In the span of 1.5 months, there are 4,000 messages between Haley, Beck, and Alex. Haley Beck is a teacher. Alex is still a student. Yes, he's 18 years old, but honestly, in my book, that means nothing. He's still her student. She's in the position of power. It doesn't matter that he's 18. It's stated in the police report that these messages started when he was 16 years old. Although most of the messages included in the police report are when he's 18, but they started when he was 16. Here is pretty much every single message detailed in the 200-page police report. And though Haley Beck has not been arrested nor charged with anything as of right now, I feel, based off the messages, that crimes have been committed. We will just have to see if charges are pressed, but here are text messages with strong evidentiary value. I will note that some messages are missing context. I'm excluding the parts that seem irrelevant and then filling in some contextual gaps as we go. But one message thread reads, and this is Haley trying to find a way to meet up with Alex, which seems to be something that she consistently does. She is always the one trying to see him, meet up with him, initiating plans to see him. She texts, well, are we like picking up drive-thru? Like, what's the vibe? I don't got all day. I gotta get ready to leave at 7 a.m. tomorrow, but probably like a car mukbang. And then the police report is like detailing what a mukbang is. And then he just requests money, which she sends the requested amount, which it's unclear how much this time, but it's always like $20 or $30 each time. But it adds up very quickly, like I said. Haley sends him the money and then she texts, you know, you could always just get your nut off with me.
Like doing it?
Yeah. And when he tells her that she's sick because she's sick in the head, she says, God forbid a girl offer her services. You're not a girl, you're a 27-year-old woman and a teacher who would probably be better off behind bars. But he responds, you're funny. But I'm also serious. Just call me if you're feeling crazy. He laughs at her message, maybe tonight. Or we could keep it PG and get froyo, but like, you know, all it takes is me just driving to you, so. Yep, I'll see. I feel bad, but I want to go to the dispo. The dispo is like a marijuana dispensary, but I can't because I have a dinner right now and I have to pack and shit still, so it's going to be closed by the time that I can leave. So I'm asking you if you can go for me and just like pick that shit up, then I'll hit you when I'm done with dinner. Yeah, I can do that.
What?
So you want me to like grab something from Dispo and then come to you? I'm still here at Sushi downtown, so that buys you some time. No, don't come straight here. Wait till I text you. Don't text me though.
Is marijuana legal there?
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's crazy.
a teacher buying.
Yeah. Holy.
Yeah, just get another like infused, any flavor to be honest. Don't text. I'll text you later. Just stay at my place. I'll drive you to the airport tomorrow. Joking. Low-key might ask you to. Whatevs, I'm on my way now. If you don't hear from me in 15, send a search party because I probably crashed from falling asleep. Then he sends, go down the street behind mine and come from the other side to my house, like the back part where the two streets connect. If you can't, just let me know and I'm a dip. Okay, come to house. I did. So she's not only grooming him, she's providing him funds and marijuana, likely to continue her sick control over him. And throughout the text messages, you're going to see many moments where he tries to turn her down or subtly turns her down without outright saying no. Because again, this is a situation where she has all the power, but she doesn't get it. Or in my opinion, she doesn't care. She keeps coercing him to meet up with him. In another instance, she's texting Alex, gotta catch me today before my period starts tomorrow, I think. He dislikes it. To which Haley, the predator, gets offended. Why did you thumbs that down? The fuck? I won't be seeing you today unless you pick me up from the airport and just devour my shit. I thought I can't since you have to go get your dad. They text back and forth coordinating this airport pickup, and Haley, the predator, decides to ask the very pertinent question of, I don't know how I'm supposed to, quote, devour you if I'm driving and dropping you off. At the crib, out front. Ugh, it's so sus doing it during the day. But okay, whatever you say. Come inside, nah, chill, like car it is. If no one was home, then yeah, preferably that. But I guess I'll settle for being a rebellious teen. So she's saying that she was willing to do it in the car in the middle of the day. And Alex is laughing at this. And I think it's one of the reasons that this case has, again, gone so viral, especially through the messages, is the fact that the victim in real time calls her out on her predatory behavior and she does not care. And I don't want to say delusional because that almost gives her a pass. She's just disgusting and won't let, she's just disgusting. Alex points out to Haley, the teacher, yep, just like always, a big kid stuck in high school, fucking a high schooler, crazy, the world we live in, am I right?
Damn,
Haley,
he said that.
Yeah. And this is, okay, I don't want to like psychoanalyze people, right? But I think this is a situation where clearly the victim he knows he's not in a position of power. He even rants to his girlfriend that if he stops texting Haley Beck, she might fail his class. And then he probably would lose his scholarship, like his entire future. And I think him being mean to her is not him being mean. If you've been kidnapped and you're mean to your kidnapper, does it suddenly mean that you were in the position of power?
Yeah.
Haley responds, like, why are you complaining and making me feel bad? Like, you're getting basically a relationship out of me without the arguments and constant need for commitment and reassurance, so you're welcome. Alex thumbs up the message and responds, not necessarily complaining, clutch, sugar mama for real, porn star, all the perks for real, cars, hotel, even the apartment, what a gal. Yeah, and all the while you have a girlfriend on the side, but at least you know that I'm not going to start with arguments with you randomly. Like, I don't know if this is supposed to be a compliment or offensive. Compliment. You're just not in a porn star body, that's all. Alex then likes the comment that he has a girlfriend on the side, and he responds, I live a wild life, what can I say? And he responds to Haley saying that at least she doesn't start arguments with him randomly, to which Alex responds, cap. And Haley's response is, and there's the insult. Is it really an insult if it's just a fact? So is this you admitting you have a girlfriend? Because if that's the case, I'm not doing nothing with you. I don't have a girlfriend for real. Okay, thank you. I really hope you aren't trolling me though. Because weirdly, like, that is when I would cut everything off. Like, us being cool, just like my physical and money services. So I hope you aren't lying just to keep it. More on the money part later, but she's talking about her services and Alex laughs at the message and he responds, nah, for sure. I mean, if I was 27 and I had a boyfriend that was a cop, she's dating a cop. Allegedly.
What?
While I'm breaking the law.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And where is he in all of this?
We don't know. Probably not involved.
Mind blown. That's
yeah.
Fucking crazy.
And he points it out. He's like, I mean, if I was 27 and I had a boyfriend that was in caps a cop while I'm breaking the law with my student, I'd probably be conservative with my services as well. But I don't know. I don't have any insight. That's just a thought. Then later in messages, Haley messages that she's just about 20 minutes away, which is, quote, not too bad to go see him. And she says, so when you leave the gym, I'll leave. He's like, I just left. Okay, so should I leave? I'm just trying to get my dick sucked, so you let me know. Yeah, so I can leave. I'll be there in like 20. All right. Like 5 away. Do you want me to pull up in front of your house? A little before, not in a light. So like not at the light, I guess. Be there in 2. Literally, I was already like walked out fresh out of the shower, and as soon as I get downstairs, the sharpest pain in my stomach ever, straight bubble guts. So he's saying like his stomach hurts.
This is the same thread?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's unclear if she met up with him and assaulted him, but I don't know how much clearer the messages can be that something has at least on multiple occasions occurred. But there are further messages where they're making more plans to meet up once more. And of course, it's always Haley initiating. Let me know if you need me tomorrow during your tattoo time, because I'm going to be in Scottsdale. Then I have to make my way back over here by 6 for Pilates. But then after, if you're not doing anything, we can get froyo. My period started, so I have an excuse. She then quickly messages, but good thing I can still use my mouth, which Alex laughs at her message. In another thread of messages, Haley is talking about eating, and she says, no, for real, I can't wait to put this burrito in my mouth. Alex responds, wow, want to put something else in your mouth? I mean, yeah, dumb question. All right, for sure. Let me know when you're outside. Nah, I wish, but I'm staying at my friend's tonight. That's why I'm saying tomorrow. Lame. I know, bummer. What are you doing tomorrow? Take your 30-year-old ass home. What are you still having sleepovers for? Shaking my damn head. I'm hungry. Fuck, my house is empty. I'm gonna go to sleep. Like, he's again calling her out like, you're fucking 30. Like, I don't think this is aggression about a sleepover. Mm-hmm. It's just like...
Yeah.
And she's like, because I drank and I'm being responsible. I'm about to smoke a selfie. I don't know what that means, okay? But here we go. Brother, what are you doing tomorrow? I'll suck your dick then. You're gonna pass out. I don't know yet, okay? I know, after I eat this burrito, I'm gonna pass out. Okay, well, add me to your plans. If I get an opening, I should. Oh, cut it. You don't know what you're doing, but you're saying that if you get an opening? Okay, interesting. Like, prioritize me if you want my mouth around your D. And she spells it out, but... Even the police are getting dumbfounded on how to label these messages, with the description of this text thread just being, quote, in these messages, Haley and Alex have a conversation about the Kesha concert Haley attended, and there is reference about Haley performing oral sex, and Haley blatantly tells Alex she will suck your dick tomorrow. In another set of messages, Haley offers to come see Alex and help him turn his brain off, to which he responds quite vulgarly, and just get my balls licked. Sure, if that's what you want, balls licked, sucked, let's run it. I don't even... But like, come now if you're at all available, or just confirm you'll come at 11 so I know to stay up, LOL, before I get too tired to perform well. In another message, Alex states outright disturbingly, bro, you blow my shit every chance you get. Taylor, Alex's girlfriend, tells the police, again, Haley would just always send money, and it was so random. Alex figured that he could take it to his advantage because then he wouldn't need a part-time job and he could focus on football. So he would just text things to Haley like, hey, you want to get me a pizza? And Haley would just like promptly send over $30. If Alex was leaving campus for lunch, Haley would give him her card to buy lunch. Alex's girlfriend Taylor would state that there was at least one instance where Haley Beck sent Alex money only if he, quote, come over and watch a movie with me. It's unclear to Taylor if he ever went to watch a movie, but like, it was weird. And it's pretty clear to authorities that it doesn't just seem like Haley Beck used her power imbalance over Alex. She also seemingly tried to control him with her money. And again, it's easy for someone to say, oh, well, the victim could have easily just gotten a part-time job and like they didn't want to do this because they wanted the money and they didn't want to cut it off. That's not true at all. There are multiple instances where Alex tells his girlfriend that he's worried that if he cuts off Haley Beck, that she's going to retaliate. And in any situation, regardless of their age, it's not unnatural for victims to then start thinking, well, at least I can try and get something out of this situation, because it's easier for our brains to process that than it is to process abuse. There are messages between Haley and Alex is texting her, are you going to be daily allowance service for this trip? So I'm not sure what trip it is. It could be like an away game, family vacation, but Haley is not attending. And Alex inquires, do we set a benchmark or do I just ask by the item? Like, what are we thinking here? Haley sends him a photo of a phone game with the words, have you ever played this game? I feel like you would like it. And then she responds to him, this sounds like an official business deal. I don't know about deal, more about communication. Yeah, communication is always good. Don't get too crazy with the demands, but I'm sure we can work something out. LMAO, nothing you haven't seen before, probably just when I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat probably at this connection in Houston. So I think he's talking about a layover. It's fun, referring to the game. Anyways, go get some food. He requests money, Haley sends the money, and she also sends a picture of her neck. She appears to be outside tanning and her neck is exposed and her head is tilted to one side and there's like a red mark on her neck. Yeah, and he writes, oh goodness, you're gonna have skin cancer. Haley responds, I'm talking about the hickey. He doesn't seem to care much, okay? At all. Then in another conversation soon after, Alex texts Haley, hey, sugar mommy, nice to hear from you at the perfect time. Look at you being telepathically connected to me. Haley laughs at the message, but she responds, you better suck up right now because I cried myself to sleep last night because you didn't say love you back. I also decided I don't like the title of sugar mommy. It makes me feel used. Alex responds, oh gosh, what title do you prefer? Crybaby? Watch it. I'm just being dramatic. I didn't cry, but I was visibly shocked. I prefer like darling or doll, always suffices. I fell asleep, big whoop. And then he requests money. And he writes, sugar baby requesting money from doll face sugar mama. Later, Haley Beck texts, if I cut you off from the money benefit from all of this, I really fear you would never speak to me. I don't know if we should try to find out. Is that a threat? I think you would miss me for just like a little bit. But enjoy your expensive Fort Lauderdale pregnant lady beach tacos. I don't know what that, like I guess he bought tacos from Fort Lauderdale. He responds that he probably would miss her. And then she responds, no, I was just thinking of like how we started off. Literally nothing to do with money. How did we get to this point? Man. Back then, like you liked me for me and not my bank. You also sometimes like me for something that doesn't even require money, but obviously no can do right now. He responds, no, whatever you was doing the other night with your tongue, don't let that get out of your inventory for real. Keep that in your back pocket ready to go. The text messages between Haley and Alex have obviously gone viral, with netizens wanting Haley Beck to get a freaking grip because of how humiliating the interactions are. Generally, the messages could be classified as pathetic if they were not so predatory. Like there's this one part where Haley threatens to cut off the abuse. She's like, oh, well, you're never going to see me again. And he responds, when I visit home, I'm coming to beat them cheeks up. And she says, I smiled, but then I said, ew. And he calls her a freak. He's like, freak. And she's responding, if my was weak, then what's the point even? Cry me a river. When are you going to visit home? Like, no need for me to cry. I'll just S your D and then you can shut the f up about it. One netizen comments, the way she keeps trying to convince herself he's into her and he just makes it abundantly clear that he isn't. In another text message thread, Haley vents, I'm glad you still refer to me as your sugar mama. I thought my services were being retired. Yup, you're my lifelong side piece. I'm gonna get sick of side piece eventually. I'll need an upgraded title. 8 hours of meetings today, I'm gonna kill myself. Well, that's not my decision. What do you mean? You're the old lady here. If you seek a relationship your age, I can't be anything than your side piece. You're playing with fire, not me. You think I'll still fuck with you even when I'm in a relationship? 100% dick to fire. I was gonna ask if you'd still f with me if you were in one, but you literally did. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been locked in a relationship, but technically I am. So I guess you could say that. I don't really care, to be honest. I cheat. You are? Like again? She's like so concerned he's in a relationship. When I come home, I'm gonna see her for sure. She's like a sloth on a tree. She's not letting go. Later, Haley sends him the song Break Up With Your Girlfriend, I'm Bored by Ariana Grande.
Whoa.
To which Alex responds, Jesus Christ. Teehee, oh relax, live a little. One comment about these exchanges reads, she gives major unpopular girl in high school that had a glow up and is trying to recreate their high school experience vibes. It's embarrassing. So there was this whole conversation online about Haley Beck either being a loser in high school who wants to try and live out her high school dreams now that she's in the position of power so she could actually force the cool high school students to do whatever she wanted. But as a high school loser, that's not true. Okay. So all the high school losers are standing up and we're like, we would never set foot in another high school again. Like usually people who were losers in high school will never become a high school teacher. Because you have so many like traumatic memories. Like, okay, sure, maybe they're not that traumatic, but in your mind, it was so developmentally traumatic. You're like, when I see high schoolers, I'm like, I'm getting traumatic flashbacks. I gotta go. No one wants that. And then people start digging up Haley Beck's high school life. She was apparently very popular in high school.
Really?
She was prom royalty. She was dating an athlete. She always hung out with the popular kids. She was allegedly a bit of a pick-me who liked to think that she was the main character, which seems very evident based off the messages she's sending. But comments about that read, peaked in high school and reliving the glory days is actually worse than the loser from high school trying to be popular. If she weren't a child predator, I would pity her. Another comment reads, this was always my assumption. I don't know anyone who was unpopular in high school that wants to go back and relive it. Usually those are for people who peaked in high school. And Haley it's going to get worse. She's going to go to the Post Malone concert. Haley Beck is. And she tells Alex that she's going to give him $5 for every compliment. And she sends him a photo of her outfit.
Wait, just like compliment me on my photo right now.
Yeah. Haley sends a mirror selfie. She's wearing black boots, blue shorts, a black sleeveless shirt, and like a brown-white trucker-style hat. It's taken in what appears to be her bedroom, and she sends it with the words, posty fit check, one compliment gets you $5 gas money. And he says, well, I'm gonna have to shell out about 5 compliments. Better start now. Well, no, now they're forced. I don't want them anymore. It's too late. He responds, I think your boots are very fitting. They proportion well on your legs. Plus $5. I think your top is cute because of the furry lacy look. Plus $5. I think the hat is fire. Plus $5. Okay, belt. I see that. Plus $5. And I like your hair straight. Boom. Just like that. The saddest $25 ever. Haley responds, was that hard for you? Be honest. She responds specifically to the compliment about her shirt, about the frayed lacy look. She says, you should have seen me in the last time I wore this shirt. This shit was tight on me. Crazy. He does not care. He's just like, cough it up. He literally says, cough it up. You look good would have sufficed. Why the hell are you driving 72 miles tonight? She's asking him because he's like talking about how he has to drive. And he's like, you said 5, okay? Bro, because I have to go to this dumb youth camp at North High and then go to Anthem to sleep before I leave for tomorrow morning. Sleepover in Anthem? Don't forget to come get me. Just kidding. That is where I will be. Maybe. She sends him $25 Apple Pay with the reason compliments.
Oh my goodness.
And she says, the concert won't end until like 11ish. I would feel bad making you come get me. Yeah, I'll be asleep. Okay, well, see you never. I was gonna make you drive to get me drunky snacks. And she sends a photo of like 2 Twisted Tea cans, so I guess they're alcoholic beverages. And she talks to him about going to Anthem so that she can eat Alex. And she texts him later, come pick me up. I'm literally pulling up to my grandma's. Tanger Outlets, I wanna hang. And he says, I'm overly far. Well, what is there to do in Anthem? Nah, you gotta go to sleep. And he's like talking about where he's got to drive to next. And so she's like, so there's nothing we can do about it tonight. And he's like, I mean, I guess you could Uber here. And she's like, Anthem ain't too far. I'll let you in. To your grandpa's? And then in the morning, you can drive my car home. What can I do at your grandpa's for real? I'm capable of driving, not gonna lie. Then my car is stuck out here. And then in reference to like, what is she gonna do at grandpa's? He's like, LOL, eat me. I don't know. Well, yeah, duh. But like, what about your grandpa? He's almost 70. He'll be asleep. Okay, but like, be so realistic right now. Is me pulling up weird? And by the time I get to you, it'll be late. But like, I want to. She complains nonstop in these messages about being a so-called sugar mama, aka a predator. But when Alex says he's going to be less available, Haley responds, no, like, I know you have stuff to do and people to see, but don't forget about your sugar mama. Over the span of 3 months, June, July, and August of last year, she sent him $630. And one of the transactions, Haley writes into the transaction that this money exchange feels like straight prostitution. And netizens are just commenting about this compliment chat thread. It's gone viral. Some people are saying he's funny, not gonna lie. This is so sad for her. He definitely chat GPT'd the compliments. Like, why is he kind of iconic? And then some people are saying, none of this is remotely funny, by the way. Others are just saying, if I were her, I would never show my face in public again. It's gotten to the point where netizens are wondering whether or not Haley Beck has some sort of humiliation interest, which is nothing that would be wrong with that if it was between two consenting adult individuals and not a teacher and a student. But the messages are just so humiliating for Haley Beck that netizens have started wondering if that's something she's into. Other text messages between Alex and another male student have been included in this police report, which I know why the police included it, because it's very evident that there was sexual interactions, aka crime, that occurred between Alex and Haley Beck. Mm-hmm. And Alex has told another student about it. But I also think it's included because fuck you, Haley Beck. Fuck you, Haley Beck, okay? Alex's friend asks him, how is it having your teacher eat the dick? Easy, laid there. Then she was like sweating on me and shit. Her belly was smacking my belly. And the friend responds, fat bitch. To which Alex responds back, fat ass bitch. And then I had to get up and she was like, me like this. And she just wanted to lay there. So I crushed it for like 2 minutes and then came all over her face. And then booted her and went to sleep. That was a crazy sight to see. Whole face covered in my kids. Literally, she said she couldn't see because it got in her eyes. I started giggling. I will say these are not appropriate ways to talk about any sort of interactions, but that's not really the crime here. One student told officers that she once heard Alex straight up call Haley Beck fat, and she could just tell Haley Beck liked it based on her reaction.
What?
Yeah. There was like a small snippet in the police report, and it just seems like she's just weird. What? She also has a really, really, really alarming obsession with Alex's age-appropriate girlfriend. She texts him that she was going to ask Alex to come over to her place again sometime, but quote, unless you found others to do that stuff for you now, apparently. I knew it was going to happen, to be honest. Like, you chose to be the nice guy. There's no compromise in breakups, but somehow she's still going to do the same shit. Like, do it now when you have the opportunity to be the one that didn't do anything wrong, or else the cycle will just keep going. But your life, do you. I just feel like you were so ready to be done. She's just encouraging him to break up with his age-appropriate girlfriend over and over again. And then she messages things like, hopefully you still enjoy me sucking your dick, so let me know when you want that. To which he laughs at the message and responds, got it. I feel like the things are going to change between us when the school year starts again. In another text thread, Haley texts, I need approximately a 1-day break from S-ing your D. My throat is not well. He says, you can have until Monday. Now, I can go as early as Saturday. I'm a champ. Gotta get it out of my system before you leave for Cali. In another thread, she says, night-night, hit me tomorrow for brekkie, lunch, dinner, movie, a suck, you name it. I'm a free bird tomorrow. And like, these messages are so bad. Some netizens are commenting that she was victimized by the victim, which I don't think is true. I hope that that's a very dark joke based off the text messages. Others are saying he tried so hard not to be a victim, but he still was a victim because of the power imbalance. But at least he wasn't a pushover. Others are commenting, why is she so down bad for a child? A more thorough netizen comments, there is something deeply, deeply wrong with every text exchange. I mean, it's baffling, so disturbing. It's just another added layer of creepiness that she was subjecting a teenager to her humiliation kink. The kid wanted nothing to do with her, but she was grooming him and sending him money to try and keep preying on him. It's detestable. Another writes, wait, this is so disturbing. And why did she risk her entire career and reputation for a child who was telling her that she's busted and chopped? Like, hello? This is so fucking weird. Now that we've gone through all the text messages, and they're really bad, however, there are other things uncovered in the investigation that are equally disturbing in my humble opinion. And I think the crazy thing is she's a predator, she's a groomer, but she also has the capacity to be so fucking dumb on top of all of that. She's just so dumb. She's doing AI conversations. She's using AI for this shit. If someone turned 18 on insert Alex's birthday, what year were they born in? Someone comments, okay, can we talk about the fact that how she didn't know how to subtract 18 from the current year? It's so dumb.
Wait, what is this? Like her Chat GPT search record?
That is only relevant to the crimes, obviously. But it was Alex's birthday that she had put in. I mean, I think the annoying part about how dumb she is, I'm not saying this, oh, we need to feel bad for her because she's mentally stunted as a teenager. I don't think that matters at all. It should only make people more upset that the school didn't catch on earlier to what was going on because she's not very bright to cover it up in this very meticulous, expertly crafted manner. She's just dumb. She's bozo. Remember the alleged circulating oral sex video that Haley insists to the police officers is not real, does not exist? God, no, 100% no. Haley texts Alex about this video that definitely doesn't exist at all. And she says, hi, sorry, I have a serious question / problem. What's up? Why did Redacted just randomly text me saying she heard some crazy stuff about me? And so I said, what? And she said, Redacted apparently said you were going through your phone pics and showed a video of me sucking your dick. I don't know when or to who, but like, why is that a thing? Who is Redacted? Redacted's girlfriend. I don't know. That's a pretty crazy, wild rumor. I mean, scary thing is, it's not a rumor. Says who? Sounds like a rumor to me. Well, it's not a rumor that you have a video of me, if not multiple, but like, I'd hope you weren't dumb enough to show your guy friends or like even tell them. No. Like, I'm not gonna be mad, but clearly he knows about all this shit we do, and that is more than I wanted him to know in the first place. But as long as no one else knows, like, all I've ever cared is if you're honest about that part. So this video definitely exists somewhere.
Okay, so at that point, she's aware that he has this video. Is there any moment of her expressing fear or concern of, I'm gonna go to jail for this?
No, all her fear and concern is about him becoming distant and acting standoffish with her and moving to California.
You think the thought never came across her mind?
I don't think so. Even this text message thread where she's like, why is this a thing? It almost feels like she doesn't mind that much if other guys saw it.
Interesting.
Yeah. And again, just some people, based off of the very limited text messages that we have in this police file and the interactions between Alex and Haley, they feel like Haley is just obsessed with this one child. Maybe it's a one-child grooming incident. There is no such thing as a one-time groomer. In another series of messages, Haley asks Alex if Alex's roommate, quote, want in on the action too? I'm kidding. Wow, you really are just a bucket. Like, you would dead do that too, I feel like. You're insane. A bucket? Bro, he could very well be a minor, and I would never do this for a stranger.
Wait. What?
He called her a bucket. Basically, like a rag.
And she say, what about a minor?
He could very well be a minor, referring to his roommate and saying, I would never do this for a stranger. But I just, for some reason, I don't feel like she was kidding when she said that.
Yeah.
During the execution of the search warrant in Haley Beck's apartment, police come across a few things first. The police report reads, in the laundry area inside a blue folder on the shelf, I found a handwritten note listing Haley's usernames and passwords for several accounts, including her social media profiles. This note was photographed and not collected. They move into the bedroom where they find a green notebook on her bedroom floor and what appears to be a page ripped out of it, and that page is now sitting in the kitchen trash can. This page is a handwritten letter written by none other than Haley Beck herself for her student, Alex. The letter reads, and this is slightly condensed, but not really much at all. It's a very long letter, so I apologize in advance for how uncomfortable it's going to make you, but this is the letter that she wrote and was going to give to Alex before he goes to San Diego to transfer high schools.
But why did she trash it?
I don't know.
Did she write it and then type it out? Did she like rewritten? This is a draft?
Yeah, maybe it's a draft. She says, Alex, Your pob's gonna think this is cheesy as hell, but you know I'm a words girly. I know, you aren't dying. Plus, you're literally just a text away, but I had little notes from people when I was studying abroad, and I would just read them whenever I was feeling a little lonely. Obviously, with you being away from your closest people, you may feel that way at some point, so read this if you do. I'm really proud of you for choosing yourself in this situation, even though I know it was tough. It's kind of crazy to look back, plus realize in my 2 years of knowing you, our relationship has changed so much. I'm really glad I had the opportunity to teach your sophomore year, because without that, we would have never really been chill with each other. I know there's some random times and days where you decide to hate me, but that's okay because I know at the end of the day, we're solid most of the time. I genuinely feel like you're a brother, weird, maybe like a cousin or like a stepbro. Plus, I truly never thought I would be in this situation with you, but I'm glad to have you as someone who I will think will be in my life for a while. Even if we don't talk all the time or even at all when you're in college, I feel like our little bond will always be there. So just hit me when you want to go get wasted at a bar together and I'll send you my wedding invite one day. I know you're nostalgic AF, so I hope you look back at our time as a good one. And no, this isn't like me saying goodbye, but I know things will be different. But don't forget our first pickleball hangout, plus how you wouldn't get out of my car for like 3 hours, or our Sonic run after your state game, or all the random times you quote fell asleep on my couch just waiting for me to invite you into my room, LOL. Ooh, or our go-kart experience plus our word games at Shake Shack. You know, for, quote, this relationship being extremely wrong, I feel like we have really made the most out of it. I'm glad I got to come to your tattoo appointments, even if you just wanted me to bring you food. All of our car hangouts were fun too, for eating, plus other stuff, LOL. Or our night adventure in Cali. Like, there is truly no other student, I know, so wrong, that I'd want to do this all with. Don't let this all get to your head though. But I'm glad you're in my life. I mean, we've been to my parents' house, in their closet, ... Insane. I feel like you've just opened up about a lot of things. I won't lie. I would always look forward to when you would come over. Not even to do anything, but just to like hang. I feel like I got good at being by myself, but even with you, it was just still easy. Whether it was to talk, watch movies, make pizza, or do other stuff, I'm glad we have those memories. And lastly, it kind of hit me that it'll be weird not seeing you during Storm the Halls, which is like a football thing. Plus, even weirder not seeing you on the field. I'm sure you knew this, but you're the reason I went to all the games I could. Before I knew you, I'd go to like a few games this season, but last season I wanted to go to as many as I could. Plus, I'm glad I did because those were the last ones that I'd be out for you. I'm not going to be the same, but I'm happy knowing you're happy where you're at, and I'm proud of you to all that you've done and all you'll continue to do, and this is just the beginning. Even though you will go to your grave saying we aren't peers, I'm glad to have you as a friend. Like, bro, you're the first person that got me to smoke weed. You're always going to have that title, so we're locked for real. And maybe one day we'll be able to go to the aquarium. I'm here whenever, even though you never say it back. I love you, and I wish you all the best. Always love, HB. It is indeed a horrible day to be able to read. One netizen comments, good God, the level of desperation is making my skin crawl. This kid didn't even want anything to do with her. Another comment reads, I'm going to rant for a second because everything about this case makes me so mad. Haley is so desperate and pathetic for this, chasing after a teenager when you're in your late 20s, not picking up the hints that he only wants you for sex and probably doesn't even want that either. Okay, that's me saying that, but getting jealous at another grown-ass woman for going after your man, aka a teenager that you groomed. Buying him weed, food, inflating his grades, going on public lunch dates where people from his school saw him, letting him drive your car, writing a love letter, admitting everything you've done and keeping it in your apartment for everyone to find. How the fuck did she think this was gonna end? Others point out the fact that, quote, she's casually texting him about his other abuser and showing signs of jealousy. Like, that's disgusting. Aside from the text messages and this letter, authorities have found other things in Haley's phone. In her notes app, she had dedicated pages. Like, you know when you're fighting with someone, like your partner, or you're arguing with your sister, and you're like, I gotta craft out the best message first before she sees my ... right? So you like do it in your notes app. She's doing that. And she's clearly very hung up on her victim having a girlfriend that's age appropriate because she's writing in her notes, like, why are you calling her an ex? For research purposes? Why are you mad at her for cheating, but you can cheat? Then another one. Like, that's why I'm confused why you even keep her around when you get everything you need from me. Then another long one reads, okay, I don't care if you get annoyed at this being long because whenever I bring this up in person or on the phone, you hang up on me and walk away. She states that the least Alex can do for her is learn how to communicate. And she says, I've only texted these last couple of days because I feel like you're weird towards me and I've wanted to figure out why and fix it. If you want this to be the last time I waste words on you, but I feel like you can at least try to understand how I feel. She starts listing out all the things that she's done for him, like literal crimes. And then she writes, not only do I buy you stuff, I personally deliver it to your house. I've bought you stuff to your tattoo appointments, driven you to haircuts, DoorDash food to my classroom for you, bought you hotels, let you drive my car multiple times, done hours of your homework, even started doing stuff for your friend. Literally, whenever you need, I'm there. I've never acted put out by any of that, but I have wondered if that's the only reason you keep me around. I like to think it's not, because you will randomly say things to make me feel like you actually enjoy hanging out with me. I figured you get literally all the perks of a relationship without being pressured to even be in one, obviously. Like, she genuinely thinks that she's getting the short end of this crime. But I think you forget naturally that I have feelings and I get hurt by you sometimes. I hate feeling like I'm being used by you. I hate the fact that if I have to ask something of you, you get annoyed. I hardly ever get mad or annoyed at you, even though there's been plenty reason for me to. When I ask to hang, I'm being annoying. I feel like I know you value and appreciate me, but I also feel like you think it's easy to take advantage of my kindness towards you. And trust me, I know I get a little attached sometimes, but I figured it benefits you always, and there's literally no strings attached, so I don't know how it could ever be an annoyance to you. I'm sorry if I overstep when asking about Taylor, but to be honest, before we were ever anything, you tell me all about your other girl stuff, so I just assumed that you continued telling me about it, but it's fine. I figured with our situation, overstepping doesn't really exist, and that's something I feel like you should value, like the fact that you can tell me things and I'd never judge. I truly just want you to be happy, and the last thing I want to feel by this situation is stressed. If you think our time or whatever this is done, fine, but with the school year coming up, I understand things will change, but I still think that we can maintain a quote friendship if that's what you want. And she says, but if you want to continue any type of relationship, it would be nice to know if I'm being kept in on the loop about stuff. The most alarming part about this last note on her phone is this is after Alex tells Haley Beck that investigators are looking into Haley Beck and probably, the whole situation. This is after he's like, the cops were banging on my door at 6 a.m. And she's drafting up this note in her notes app.
What is going on? Holy shit.
Yeah. And he starts pulling away because I think that he has genuine fear. I don't think that he realizes that he's a victim in this situation. And I think that is something that will be probably difficult later on. And that's why trauma is so difficult, because sometimes it doesn't hit you at the same time and sometimes it's years later. But he doesn't realize he's a victim in this situation. And he's actually seemingly very scared of losing his scholarship and his career. So he starts pulling away because he's terrified for his future. And she is writing things like, your sudden decision to leave today kind of made me a little nervous. The last thing I want to do is overwhelm you and stress you out, because I'm sure your day and yesterday has been hard enough for you, but can you talk to me on here? You're in Cali and this is over Snap. I'm not dumb to the situation right now, but I feel like my mind has been stressing just because you're not really talking to me about this stuff. Talk to me when you can. I know you're busy, but just fill me in to ease my mind, please.
So you're saying Haley Beck is still at home right now?
Yeah.
Huh.
And he texts her, he Snapchats her after, you're being an idiot. There isn't an investigation going on in front of your face. To which she goes on a whole Snapchat spiral stating that she believes the investigation is just into Angela Berlacca and not herself. And she's like, bro, for videos of Angela Berlacca, because other kids told, you're on your way to Cali and this is over Snap, tell me if it's about something else, please.
Wait, what?
She's like, no, it's just about Angela Berlacca because the other kids told about the videos and you're already on your way to California. You're already gone. You're not my student anymore. And this is over Snapchat. It's not text message. And then she's like, tell me if it's something else, please. AKA, if you're pulling away because of something else.
Whoa.
And then she's like, what's the name of your school? What's the name of the new school?
Oh, he didn't even tell her that.
No.
What? Oh my God, he's trying to run away.
Yeah. And she just keeps going. She's sending portions of other things in the notes and the police are investigating. She doesn't even care. She goes on to Snapchat another 17-year-old boy at the school. Haley tries to become some sort of D-grade undercover agent and she sends him audio messages that we have text versions of, okay? And she's sending, I want to know how they found out about it. First of all, that amount of filler words in a teacher is insane, okay? But that's for another day. I don't know. I actually have no clue. I was just as confused, to be honest. Did someone turn it in? Obviously, maybe a parent? But Alex's parents surely didn't Like, that's not something they would do or care about, honestly.
Is she publicly talking about her crime? Like asking how was...
No, she's asking about Angela Berlocca.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what started the investigation.
I see.
So she's like, I don't think Alex's parents would have turned Angela Berlocca in. I know. Definitely not. I don't know, because Miss Berlocca has a husband. Haley says that it's very odd that Alex abruptly left for California. So he was already going to go to San Diego, but his whole family all but like fled the state. It might be, I guess. That is weird, to be honest, not gonna lie. And then Haley starts second guessing, saying things like, he's just like the receiver of that. Like, I don't know. I think, yeah. Like, I feel like he's dipping away from that kind of like abruptly, kind of sus if he just received them. I don't know. Yeah, no, that's actually like smart, to be honest. No, I think you're actually onto something. No, he's definitely been like set on the California thing. But he's making it seem like he was gonna be home this weekend. Then everything happened and just like, okay, I'm out. The students mentioned that the cops are at Alex's house and Haley responds, did he talk to the cops? Like, what happened? What did he say? Spill. I have no clue. I just know the cops were at his, actually. He didn't tell me, but he told me the cops are at his house. That's weird. Like, I mean, maybe they try to get a hold of him and they're just like trying to get him for questioning if she's got an open investigation. Maybe they're just trying to like, I don't know. I don't know either, but like, I don't know. It's crazy as fuck. And then there's this moment where it seems like she is trying to get information whether Alex did something with Angela Berlocca physically and became a bigger victim of Angela Berlocca's as well, but in a way that's obviously not
what she care about.
Yeah, she's like, I mean, I hope you didn't do anything wrong. Like, I feel like if that were the case, of just like, hey, we know that this person sent you this stuff, like, can you confirm? Like, and just like questioning it, I feel like that wouldn't be a problem to him unless he did anything.
Whoa.
Did she ever send stuff to you? Like, I remember you saying, like, I'm not gonna say anything, like, I swear. But like, be so honest, because like,
Is this still voicemail?
Yeah. And they typed it, with every word. Because like I remember saying that you had stuff from another teacher, and I remember trying to guess. Just be honest. No, she didn't. Side note, Haley starts talking to her student about her voice. Also, can we like listen to my voice right now for 2 days of teaching for 7 hours straight? I think by the end of the semester, I'm gonna lose my voice at least 3 times, especially soccer season. My throat hurts, my head hurts. Nobody cares. She also admits to this student that she knew that Alex received things from Angela Berlocca. And she states, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I knew the stuff that she sent to Alex. He told me this at the end of like last semester, and that he just like had the videos or whatever. Like, I never told a soul because like someone's a couple lives you're messing with. So I never said anything. But as far as I know from what he was saying, it was just him receiving them kind of thing and not doing anything about it. So I don't know why he's the main one. So she's again, why is he being the main one not investigated, but being brought in as a witness if there was no physical contact? To which the student just responds along the lines of, I don't know, that's crazy. Like, that is crazy. Okay, she's freaky, Miss Berlocca, a freak. She then tries to blame the situation on Alex's ex-girlfriend, Taylor, saying, I don't know if she's still like anti-Alex. I don't even know if they're still together. Who knows? But I don't know if she wanted to do something to get him in trouble. That's like something really evil though. So she's planting seeds that maybe Taylor reported this to get Alex in trouble. And he just responds, that was crazy evil. And Alex tried to break up with her. And she says, yeah, but they literally left. That's the last time I heard from Alex, was that they were on good terms because of the fact that she was at a party throwing low blows all night, just like a bitch basically. And she went off crying and he followed her. He's like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to end it like this just because I'm like leaving. Like, you're not going to see me. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about everything and falling back on everything. She needs a high school education. I don't know what she's talking about. And he responds, bro, that's a crazy, crazy bitch. She can switch up like this, bro. I also felt, I don't know, like it's handled through police and not even through school. So unless she went straight to the police, then Haley goes on to state that Berlocca is so weird, even though she's literally doing the same thing. She starts telling this 17-year-old student, again, I'm not saying this to like rationalize it at all, but like I'm in my 20s. Single with no kids. Again, that does not make it okay for me to be freaky if I was gonna do that. Even just to you. Can keep this in mind. Just like, I don't know. That's why I'm so weird about it for so many different reasons, obviously. But yeah, that's why she's interesting. Saying Angela Berlocka is interesting for going after students, for being a predator because she's married and has children and is 47. There's no difference. And then Haley just starts flirting with this child. It's like she's moving on to her next victim instantly, if he's not already a victim, because the further conversations become more alarming. He starts saying that he's a really sentimental person that keeps to himself and nobody really gets to know the real him, and that he hates when people do bad things. It really bothers him to his core, to which Haley responds, so you're saying that I'm safe with you because you're a sentimental person? You don't want to do bad things to a good person like me? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, literally. No, but maybe I was thinking that, like, maybe Berlocka's husband found out. Yeah, dude, like, I don't know. That would be crazy for him to, like, turn her in like that. I don't know. I asked my little cop guy friend, could be her boyfriend, I don't know. And he hasn't responded yet because he's sleeping, so I'll see what he says. Then there are parts that indicate that Haley might have already victimized him as well, and she messages him, why do you care about the other girls in the class when you have me in there? Duh. Oh yeah, forgot. My fault, sorry. Oh, well, I'm kidding, kind of. No, like, you won't even, like, care about the other girls in there because I'm so chill. Yeah, like, I just won't be able to take my eyes off of you. It's gonna be so hard. I'm just gonna be so focused in that class. Right? Like, right? I'm glad you can prepare yourself. Yeah, hopefully you can stay focused, but don't get distracted either, you know. Just make sure you want to talk to me the entire class, not actually do work, but hoping to keep your good student standards in my class. Or also, like, you can't get, like, jealous when I show other people attention because that's, like, my job.
Wow. This is all after the investigation started.
Yeah. And he says, it's going to be so hard for me to do that. I just can't see you talk to another guy like, oh my God. No, I've actually heard that from somebody before. Actually, a couple of people, like, I'm being dead serious. When I was talking to other guys, students in particular, they got a little jealous apparently.
When is this going to hit her? Like, is she ever going to be like, oh shit?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think because of how humiliating the messages between Haley and Alex have been, some netizens don't think that she's on par with other groomers, but these messages make me feel like she's very much into children. She's already talking to another child, grooming another child. And there are other random pertinent messages that Haley has sent out to children where I think that it's clear she is aggressive and she is in the position of power and she knows it. There's one message where she's highly manipulative and she writes, like, I'm gonna actually be late to work one day and everyone is going to be like, where's Miss Beck? She's just sleeping in. No, it'll be because I killed myself because of you, so watch yourself.
To who?
Alex. Another one she sends to Alex reads, you come to our game, so the varsity soccer team that she coaches, and I'll excuse you from absent work. Another one without context, it's a little confusing, but it appears that perhaps the guys had some sort of rating scale for some students, maybe teachers. But she writes, you're going to say, I'll give you 2 check marks. Shut up. Like, you're going to say Redacted has a big personality and a big butt. Can I at least have those? I don't know. Then there's some aggressive ones where Alex is telling Haley, like, this is why I don't have you on Snap. Access that you should not have. She says, oh, Snap is where you draw the line on access? You have access to me literally in every other way. Shut the f up. You sent me this. Because you're whack and lame. Like, what am I supposed to do about this right now? And the worst part of all of this is that she doesn't try to hide anything. Another student says that she was briefly using Miss Beck's phone for something, and Miss Beck's phone lights up with a notification that she just got a Snapchat from Alex. And she asks her, why are you Snapchatting Alex? To which Haley Beck starts getting very defensive, telling her to not say that out loud. Clearly, she knows what she's doing is wrong, and she continues to do it repeatedly, which is sick behavior. The police report reads about interviewing Haley. The officer asks her about her relationship with Redacted Alex, and she states, we got close as peers, and then immediately corrects to not as peers, but as teacher and student. But the police report has been telling, it seems like this has been an open secret for a while at the school. During one interview, one of the students comes in with his parents. There was a fight broken out, a verbal fight between the father and son in the police station, with the dad being upset that the son didn't tell him anything, that he was talking back. This is tearing apart a lot of families, I mean, to put it lightly. We still don't know how many victims there are of Angela Berlacca and Haley Beck, but one netizen comments, this school 1,000% knew about it. Multiple kids, their mothers knew about this. There's literally no way this school has not massively swept up everything under the rug. Speaking of, according to police reports, Alex's parents also knew about this.
What?
Alex's mom stated that, she found out about Haley Beck and Alex having sex, being assaulted, but okay. It reads, a few months prior, Alex's mom had sent text messages on Alex's phone from Haley. The content of the messages were flirty. She asked Alex about the messages, and he disclosed he was having sex with Haley. One part of the police report reads, Mom was asked about how she knew Redacted and Haley were having sex. She said he told her, quote, she loves my dick. Mom said she knows Redacted talks like that, referring to sex. Mom confronted Redacted about having sex with a teacher, but Redacted wasn't upset by it. Mom told Redacted to end the relationship with Haley, which according to Mom, he did. Mom said he ended their relationship a few months prior to this interview. When asked when the relationship started, Mom said Redacted told her they started having sex when he had just turned 17.
And she didn't do anything else?
No. And they are no longer cooperating with the investigation.
The families.
Yeah. I think the parents failed Alex as well. I can see why Alex would not want to cooperate because he's scared for his reputation, his career, his future, his scholarship. It's just shitty to see that everyone has repeatedly failed him, including school administrators, other teachers. And right now, the police and the DA's office, if they're not pressing charges. Once the investigation starts, Alex's family all but flee to San Diego to transfer schools. And there's this whole other conversation with Noah Beck being dragged into this. People have stated that the police report mentions that Noah Beck offered victims' families hush money. I do want to clarify, there is a segment in the police report, but this is all hearsay. So it reads that the football coach stated to officers that he had a conversation with a parent, and a comment was made about Haley Beck's brother and some sort of hush money. He did not give specific details regarding the allegations. Nobody followed up with the dad to make sure the hush money allegation is true, that it was offered, like nothing. We don't know if Noah Beck had any sort of involvement. It could have been Haley Beck's parents who received money from Noah Beck and was using it. Like, there could be so many ways that Noah Beck is involved or completely is unrelated, not involved at all whatsoever. There's no solid proof. There are a lot of people running online with this just because it is in a police document. They're like, oh, then it must be true. But there has been no confirmation.
And Noah Beck hasn't said anything?
No, which makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't expect him to say anything. Truly, if it weren't for this tiny little hearsay hush money thing, there's no involvement. He's not even living in the state. Some people think that TikTok meant that he knew about it. There's been so much going on with that too. So the TikTok where he's like, oh, suspect's best friends are her students.
Suspect's best friends are students.
They're nice to me.
Some people believe that that's him knowing about it. But I'm not sure, because if he knew that she was committing crimes, I don't know if he would put it out there so blatantly on the internet, because that is his sister after all. And evidently it will impact his reputation if something happens there. So I'm not sure if that's the case, or if he genuinely, it's a hee hee ha ha joke that everyone makes, but it's genuine and it turned out to be a thing. It could be that. Other people have been digging up other odd TikToks between Noah Beck and his mom. You know that trend that was going around a long time ago where it's the song something something I freaked it, and it's usually the guy and a girl's head will pop up and he'll push the girl's head down to make it seem like he did that with his mom, apparently.
No.
Yeah, so there's been...
Wait, is this real?
Yeah, that is real. It's just odd. Nothing inherently sinister.
Really
just
weird.
kind of gross. But I will say most people are understanding of the fact. One netizen writes, quote, Noah lives in a different state than her, so he may genuinely not have known before the student reported her. I don't like Noah, but I don't want to blame him for something his sister did unless there's more proof that he did something nefarious. To which someone comments, a parent in the community made a comment to the police about Haley's brother and hush money. It's mentioned in the police report. To which a response is, that's not proof though, that's just a rumor. Another responds, I'm torn about bringing up Noah in this because we don't know his involvement. I've only ever seen the hush money thing mentioned very briefly in the documents, and it doesn't seem like there's anything to back it up. But the victim going to her parents' house, like, how does that even happen? Neither teacher have been formally arrested or charged yet. The police have submitted the charges to the DA's office for both teachers, so it's really in the DA's court now. One student witness told authorities that it's just been very well known that these things were happening. There's also text messages where Haley offers to purchase alcohol for Alex, which is highly illegal, so I guess we'll see what happens from there. And since she hasn't been arrested, Haley has been laying low, at least publicly. There are rumors that she's been reposting TikToks and Pinteresting outfits, and that she made her Pinterest account private after people started talking about the fact that she's Pinteresting right now. But I do know that she was recently spotted at TJ Maxx, and it looks like she has lost a lot of weight, which people have started making jokes about that, saying that she has locked in after reading about what Alex said about her weight to his friends. But one netizen writes, this person just seems really likely to reoffend. She doesn't seem to understand or care what she's doing is fundamentally wrong. She's aware of the consequences. She's obviously attracted to teenagers. This screams, I will do this again. Just give me a chance. Another comment reads, what's odd is there are more students and another victim that is detailed in the report. But the main victim chose not to cooperate with the investigation. The school district clearly has a culture because this is not their first scandal. With one advocate saying, I feel like when a perpetrator is a woman and a victim is a boy, people will make jokes. And it's not funny. It's not an achievement. He's a victim. This is not a relationship they were having. This is rape. One netizen comment reads, the student very obviously was not liking her or anything she was doing and was actively being mean. I hope he heals and is able to live life unaffected by this. And as of right now, that is where we are. What are your thoughts on this situation? It's been going viral on TikTok. I see little snippets here and there, mainly of Haley Beck in her classroom. And I do see some people trying to out the student. That's unhinged behavior, but the messages are a lot worse than I ever thought it would be.
I mean, there's no way they're getting off from this, right?
I hope not.
This is crazy. This is bad.
It's really bad. I think the biggest concern is a lot of these students and victims don't want to cooperate with the police because they're scared, which I think adds another layer of complexity to it. But I mean, these messages are it's pretty evident what happened. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Be safe, and I will see you in the next one.